to start the show. Positive note. But no, you're right. You're absolutely right. So, and then to connect to this, as far as for multiplayer that either should be better or should have been in the game in the first place. I wanted to start the show off with just ripping the Band-Aid off even more with Halo Infinite's campaign co-op, which they said that is supposedly supposed to be showing up next week, if I'm not mistaken. But there's been some strange news around that particular co-op. I wanted to read this from Game Rant. So it says here in quote, Halo Infinite has had a bit of turbulent, has been a bit of a turbulent last 8 months. While Halo Infinite was first met with a good amount of critical acclaim, with both critics and longtime fans praising 343 Industries for managing to bring the series back to its beloved roots, the last few months have seen a significant drop in Halo Infinite's player base, and public opinion has shifted. At first, fans were disappointed with the lack of new multiplayer content, and then 343 added a handful of maps and modes, but the poor rollout of Halo Infinite's recent multiplayer seasons has led to some fans to just jump ship. One of the biggest features of Halo Infinite still hasn't been patched in, the game's co-op campaign mode. Campaign co-op has been an absolute staple of the Halo franchise ever since it debuted in 2001, and though Halo Infinite's campaign was great, the lack of either online or split-screen co-op was certainly felt by fans. Well, Halo Infinite is finally receiving its co-op campaign update, but it isn't quite as simple as straightforward as fans would want. So just to read a little bit of the limitations here, it says right now, Halo Infinite's campaign co-op mode will only be available as part of a limited time beta. While the full co-op mode will be headed to Halo Infinite at some point in 2022, the actual release date still hasn't been confirmed, meaning that if fans wanted to play through Halo Infinite's campaign with another Spartan anytime soon, they'll have to do so within the beta's limited period. Beginning on July 11th, players will be able to play Halo Infinite's co-op campaign for just 11 days, with the beta ending on July 22nd. There's also a few steps players need to take in order to gain access to the limited beta. First, players will need to sign up to the Halo Insider program. If they haven't already, players will also need access to Halo Infinite's campaign, either from a purchased copy of the game or via Xbox Game Pass. From there, interested players will need to fill out a quick form, on Halo Insider and send it off. Eventually, a limited number of players will hear back within 343 with the confirmation that they've been accepted into the Halo Infinite campaign beta and given a code to redeem. On top of all this, players who, Jesus, fucking ads. On top of this, players who are planning to experience the beta on Xbox console also need to install the Insider app on their machine, which allows users to download pre-release software. I'm just going to stop there. That's fucking ridiculous.
We're done. 343. Fuck you. Give Halo the id. I'm done. 343.
I've been saying that for a while.
I'm done. Dude, that was insane. That was way too much.
Yeah.
I was sort of hinting Overwatch's beta is not truly open. I have to do forms and send and download the apps, and it's a beta and it's unlimited time. And this is Halo 343. You're done. Give it to id. I'm done. I'm done with Halo. And even then, let's say I ignored all that. Let's say I ignored all that. Once again, for me, I still have to play Halo story by myself. Again, ignoring all that limitations and forms and apps and bullshit, I'm still not going to be playing the story that they made me excited for. They made me excited for how the last Halo game ended. That story is now in logs and journals and little codex you find around the world. So even on face value, even if I ignored all that bullcrap we just heard of 11-day beta for a delayed cooperative mode of Halo we're talking about, it's still not the story we should have gotten. Yeah. I was impressed with 343's first two games, but after this, in my opinion, they're done. Someone else needs to take over, or again, this goes back to that one interview where Phil Spencer said Halo will still survive after this, and they made us very concerned.
Now we know what he was talking about.
I am now very concerned of what the future of Halo is, and if I was Phil Spencer, it's like the next game needs to be an overhaul, or like I'm saying, a potential new studio. Like, what the hell happened to Halo?
What are your thoughts, Church?
So, there's a lot of passion in this room. It's a lot of passion. I love it. So, I'm going to give some pushback on this. I have a different perspective. I don't follow the multiplayer much in Halo anymore for obvious reasons. The seasons haven't been that good. I heard of Halo Infinite and I wanted to play the campaign with the friends. I said, let's do Legendary, let's do his day one release, let's go. That wasn't a thing in this game. So I've been looking forward to co-op, and the presence of its missing has been felt. But I follow the Halo community very closely. I already knew this was going to be a Halo Insider flight test in July. I think Game Rant has some things missing in the article, so it's just a beta for people that are already insiders, like Sea of Thieves has an insider program that can test content ahead of time before the co-op game release in August. Now, is that acceptable? No, it's still not acceptable, but these are just the facts at the end of the day. I don't like it. I mean, I heard that there's some positive things about the co-op experience, that if you're playing with your friends, your save progress is moving over to your save progress. So if I play with Arthur, for instance, and we get to mission 10, I can solo mission 11 now because my progress goes. Redfall doesn't have that, so I'm happy they're doing it the right way. But is it too late? I think it's too late. Like, who cares about Halo at this point? I mean, I don't want to go back and play a game. I got God of War coming up in the fall. I got Starfield coming up next. Overwatch is coming out in the, like my attention for like multiplayer shooters, first person is going to be divided. They missed the mark, and it's sad that this news is not like, it's not helpful. So
yeah, no, I agree. I think for my take, like, to me, it almost makes me want to question what their original intent was for the player, for the game, because I keep thinking of the chronology around all of this, first starting with, where we first saw Halo for the first time, and everyone was like, they didn't, and there's a lot of people that are saying, didn't really see any co-op. Didn't really see any split screen. Like, didn't see any, like co-op or multiplayer features or whatever. It was just like a very like undercooked graphics of Halo. And then they got the message, and then they, meeting and got pushed back, yada yada. But part of me is like, what was your guys' original intent for the player? Like, why did you guys think that focusing on this battle pass ship, but not a core mechanic that has been popular since 2001? That was
since
the last
original
thing.
Xbox.
So I gotta jump in, because it's like I haven't played Halo since like Halo 3. I mean, of course I did like Reach and ODST, but not 4 or 5, right? But yeah, I'm expecting co-op, right? I'm expecting mode since the original game. They're not inventing something new for Halo Infinite. Like you said, these are key features that we are expected to have. And the idea of like, oh, it's our first open world, so it presented challenges. I'm like, open worlds is not a new phenomenon. They've been going on for a decade plus right now. So it's undercooked. They rushed the product out, and it's just not complete. Like, how do you not have Halo Infinite on a whiteboard and you have single player campaign and co-op campaign on the board at the same time?
Yeah.
How do you not start that brain storming thinking idea at that stage? Like, those key concepts.
Because to me the case in point is that the open world mechanic was a mistake. Completely.
Oh, whoa, no.
In my opinion.
What?
In my opinion.
Elaborate.
Because well, think about it. What's the real reason why of all this pushback? What's the real reason why they don't have fucking co-op? Why they don't have co-op? Why they don't have it where someone can just play the campaign over and over again? I don't think you can still do that unless they added a patch. Because originally you cannot replay a level over.
No,
the patch is coming. Like the whole game.
What I'm saying?
That's the model for this game.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like, in my opinion, if I were to guess, if they were to take away the open world aspect and have it be a solid fucking campaign, focus on multiplayer, obviously, focus on co-op and whatnot, I think players would be happy. I don't think people would be like, man, I wish Halo was open world. You know what I mean?
It's like Fallout 76. Now I know it's something we'll be getting to later. It's like, on face value, it definitely is a demand for like cooperative Bethesda games. But the way 76 did it is like, oh yeah, it's an open server. It's like, whoa. You had me a cooperative. Well, you need an open server. Let's dial it back.
Yeah.
So with Halo, with this open world campaign, it's like, put it this way, it's like if you're telling me the next Sonic game's open world, oh wow, that I could see that makes sense. It's like, hey, the next Halo game's open world. Okay, but Halo's not an RPG, so because that's just for me. Like, for me, open world, like the phrase almost like is synonymous for open world RPG. It's like, you can't hear, like, to a point, like, if you hear the word open world, it's immediately followed by the phrase RPG. So they have Halo open world. It's like, okay, cool. How we doing this? Friends, right? No. So here's another reason why I'm mad about this. This is a beta off a delayed service we should have since day one.
Right.
How the
Yeah.
fuck after this long and a delay, there's still a beta?
Right.
So how far, like you said, Church, how far down the totem pole was fucking cooperative for Halo, the face of Microsoft?
Yep.
A feature we've had since original Xbox. So you're telling me that now the days of Xbox Series X, the new consoles, we are getting a beta after a delayed feature such as cooperative. That's why I'm pissed.
Because no, and I completely.
Well, let me,
Go ahead.
I'm gonna respond
Go
to
ahead.
the open world thing.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna disagree with you off a little bit. When the war that comes after open world for me is not necessarily RPG, it's sandbox. So when I think of a Halo open world, I think of a sandbox, and I played the campaign, and it's amazing. I think the open world is the most refreshing take for Halo in a long time. Just the set pieces in terms of how you can approach a mission is really cool. But it'd be so much better with the friends to play it at the same time. At the same time, I remember when Halo Infinite first got announced, I was thinking it was going to be like Destiny, but like Halo. You can have 4-player co-op, just do missions over and over again, and the game is so far away from what it is, what I originally thought it was going to be back in the day. But but go ahead. What were you?
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, even like, I mean, obviously, I have my qualms with Grand Theft Auto and whatnot, but I remember when Grand Theft Auto fucking 5 came out, like GTA Online, I think it showed up later. Like when the game originally came out,
It
like
was like
it was like,
later.
Yeah.
Good 2 or 3 years later. Yeah,
and that makes sense. Why did they like to me? It's just like the what they were focusing on, and I do agree with you, Church, as far as like open world sandbox. But to me, it's like, okay, but I don't. Me as a gamer, like, you're introducing to me a new thing that I'm not originally accustomed to, because, and say if I have been a player of Halo since 2001, like, give me at least the things that I'm familiar with before introducing this new thing. Like, I could at least respect Grand Theft Auto 5 for doing that, as far as here's the game, here's the open world, here's all this stuff. GTA Online will be out soon. You know what I mean? And then when it's out, it's not a fucking beta thing. It's just, you gotta get a bigger hard drive.
Yeah.
but like, I could respect that. When it comes to this, it's like, oh, you guys are like pussyfooting around this. Like, you guys aren't really. This isn't really a focus. You know what I mean? Like that is my biggest. That is my biggest disappointment with 343, and it sucks because they've been doing good work before this. You don't think so?
I don't think.
But you haven't played 4 and 5.
No, I haven't played. Speaks for itself.
That's their game. That's their game.
Speaks for itself. Do I need to say more?
I haven't played the last 2 games. They're not doing good.
But I played Halo Wars.
Halo Wars.
Yeah,
okay.
I played Halo Wars.
I mean,
but I like those like strategy type games. So, but I haven't played the mainline series.
4 or 5.
Yeah.
And I feel like to a point, if you're to like experience my side, it's like you're like I don't see why Arthur likes Diablo. I don't know why Arthur is so mad Diablo Immortal. No, I've never played Diablo before, but like it's like, you know what I mean. So it's like.
But I played Halo before. Don't get twisted.
So you're saying how you like the story, but I'm saying is, if you would have played Halo 5, it's like you play Halo 5. This game's like standalone game. Why Halo 5 did exist? Well, so why even did Halo 5 exist? Or why does this game even exist if they have nothing to do with each other? So, you know what I'm saying? It's like you play Halo 5, you're like, oh, I can't wait for more. Here's this. Oh, cool. So where's all this other stuff? Don't worry about it. So here's a new game, and you're like, what the fuck? So even like I'm not saying the campaign's bad, but I'm saying it's not the campaign we should have got.
It wasn't a focus.
The Halo game. Who is it for? Is the question.
Yeah,
it's not for loyal fans that've been playing 4 or 5. It's not for people that remember Halo. Like, who is this game for? And I just feel Microsoft fumbled the mascot Halo, and going future. Halo is not a key component of the portfolio anymore going forward.
Yeah.
That's just, in my opinion, that's how I feel. Halo is dropped off, I think.
And that's sad for an Xbox mascot, man, or just one of their biggest IPs.
And they should pull the Band-Aid off right now for Halo Infinite while it's kicked down and stop any updates for the original Xbox One, and like because I think those systems are holding back what the console could be.
Yeah.
So at this point,
I
It's
agree.
put
I
off now.
agree. I agree.
Yeah.
with
On the
that.
console thing, on the console thing, you're not wrong. But for me, just when it comes to Halo 5, any other future news, Halo Infinite, that game's done for me. Like I don't want to play the multiplayer. You know, I don't want to play. I don't want to play Halo the Battle Pass. You know, it's like you know we didn't. So even the multiplayer, you can see how much they focused on the battle pass. We didn't have Forge at launch. We didn't have choice queues at launch. Like again, we're playing Overwatch. In Overwatch, it's like, hey, do you want to play this type of game, this type of game, this type of game? Queue for what you want. And also Halo, and so since Halo the multiplayer is based on their challenges, God help you if you have a mode-based challenge, because you're like, because you can't do it unless you play that mode. Like, remember, me and Caleb played for hours, and we never played one not big Team Slayer, but the one you get to put the batteries in the base.
Oh, it's stockpile. Yeah.
Stockpile.
Yeah.
Like you and Caleb had stockpile challenges, and we didn't get stockpile once.
Not once.
Hours of playing. It's hours of playing. We never got that. So it's like, again, it's like, so how? It's like they messed up so bad. It's like, okay, we're all about the battle pass. It's all about challenges. The only way to progress in the battle pass is with challenges. Well, since you can't choose your game mode, we gotta get lucky in the queue, and we again, you can get shit luck all day.
Mm-hmm.
You know it's disrespectful too, because it's like they made the Master Chief collection, right? It's like you raise these kids and you leave them to die. Like, how dare you? You know.
And one thing I will point out before we I go in like the hard like absolutes, I will say Halo, at least in terms of style, Halo has dipped its feet in open world. Halo ODST. ODST, it dipped its foot because in Halo ODST, it's like you're in the city and like and it's like, hey, there's these 3 areas that are messed up. You can go this way, or this way, and you can kind of choose which you in order. It wasn't fully open world, but
case study, a little bit of a case study.
But for Halo, that was a different style thing because I'm not saying Halo is like a rail shooter, but it is go from point A to point B, B to C, etc.
Yeah.
But Halo ODST was like, hey, there's 3 missions, 1, 2, and 3. You could do them whatever order you want, whatever. And it had cooperative.
Yeah.
So again, so if like let's say 343 says, well, we focus too much up in the open world, that's why we couldn't get cooperative. I say, well, what about the fucking ODST? Yeah. ODST had, now it wasn't a true open world, I'll give it that, but it did have elements of open world in terms of player choice, in terms of mission choice and what order, and it was cooperative since day one.
Yeah.
So for me, if 343 are people to say, hey, they focused on open world, I'm like, we've seen that before in Halo. That excuse doesn't fly with me.
Yeah. Enough.
Interesting. And rolling over to more co-op news. This one was kind of interesting, and curious to see your guys' thoughts on this.